welcome once again to Clinical Theurgy, episode 37. How is the party doing?
We're hale and hearty.
We're alive, which is actually a little surprising after one of those last combats.
Why is that? I thought everything went just fine.
We ran in, Hunter and the party ran into some gibbering mouthers. They wanted to mouth all over us.
That sounds friendly.
Yeah, they were very friendly. They were attaching themselves to us, and then I think that when it got really dicey was when there was a mimic and a mouther. But we prevailed. So we made our way through the tomb. Party was looking for Nia, who had told them she was in the tomb with the Sphinx. And so we fought many gibbering mouthers and spiders. And Hunter, was like scared to fight, but he did fight sometimes. Sometimes he could overcome that fear. Basically, we cleared the rest of the tomb and found a secret passage. Inside was a sarcophagus with the name Phelps inscribed on it. Of course, that brought to mind Ivy's last name, which is also Phelps. We basically, she was the only one allowed to touch it because it was like her family, it was like her great grandfather in there, I believe. And the party reunited with Niev and the Sphinx, and the Sphinx was revealing some truths about Ivy. She was conceived with Arcana itself, and her great-grandfather was the first to do this. It was kind of like a family tradition. And then the Sphinx also offered to translate the book if we can stay for a week, and indicates it's safe to cast in the tomb. Ivy did say
maybe slightly hazardous for me to cast.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Ivy said that she had odd effects while casting, and it's probably because she's part Arcana. Goron messaged Ninoslav and got permission to stay longer, and that was where we left off. Is the Sphinx is supposed to translate the book for us, hopefully, and we're chilling for a week in two.
Yeah. Good recap. I'm very annoyed because all of my images seem like they are not to display. What have you done? Yeah. But the four of you are resting in the crypts with the Sphinx. As she said, there is food that will periodically kind of just appear down here, enough to keep all of you and her well fed. She will advise you not to journey outside, as anything not fully killed will regain consciousness and move about the floor. So you'd be kind of putting yourselves back in harm's way if you were to leave. But I had homework for all of you when we left off the session, and that was not in the recap. So who remembers what your homework was?
We had
figure out
what we're doing for the 7 days or so.
I hate to do this right now, but can I pause for just a sec?
Yeah, sure. No worries. I'm gonna go grab my dinner.
Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? I'm in the middle of something. Okay, no problem. Bye. Love you too. All right, sorry about that. So,
Not a problem.
so the homework was...
What are we doing for the week that we're in the tomb with the Sphinx?
Yeah. You got 10 days down here.
Niev was thinking... Well, I have a question. So, this food that's being delivered, are there vegetarian options in there?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure, otherwise she was probably going to be spending her
is-
week being sick.
It is a random feast of food.
Okay. So Niev was thinking that she would probably spend some time kind of meditating. You know, she's learned some things about, or she's had some memories that she retrieved when we were at the forest before about the, Feyan Empire with her sister. And so she's actually wanting to do like a little bit of, like meditation on like, nature and, that memory. She's like, some part of her's like not sure if it's real or not real. And so she's just kind of trying to think back on it. She would want, hopefully, if Antaeus would be up for it, to maybe send a message to her sister and see how her sister's doing, because we've not heard from them in a while. Well, I mean, it's hard for us to hear back from them, but she's not checked in a while, I guess. So she would want to do that. Also probably spend some time just doing like light exercise, brushing Hunter, that kind of thing, to pass her time there.
It's good. How about Ivy and Antaeus? It's called Eucassius.
One question. The Sphinx working on this book, is it like something where the Sphinx has to put all of its attention on this book, like the full 7 days?
10.
10
a week
days.
Here is 10 days.
Okay. So I guess my question is is it just that it takes 10 basically days for the Sphinx to be able to do everything, or is it like full 10 straight days of the Sphinx working on it? I think Ivy would be curious and maybe show the Sphinx her letter and see if the Sphinx has any insight on that. But obviously, if the Sphinx looks like it's requiring all of its attention all day long to work on this book, I wouldn't bother it.
So it is taking it the entire time. The Sphinx is casting legend lore, which, based on the information they have, which is a bit of a stretch, I'm giving it the quality of detailed information because all of you know where the book came from, and you know roughly who the book was created by. So I'm giving that enough as detailed information because these are factual things as opposed to rough estimates of it. So it could take a lot less than a week. It takes up to a week, and just to be on the safe side, she recommended saying a week, so there weren't additional complications or losses. But for right now, you would not be able to interact with her until the casting time is complete.
Okay, so if her casting time does get completed early, I would show her this letter and see if she has any insights about it, since it supposedly pertains to me and she seems to know a lot about my family line. But until that point, and if that happens, I think the main thing Ivy would be doing is a lot of thinking about herself, and then I'd probably at some point be I am sick of thinking about myself because thinking is not my strong suit, and I'd ask Goron if he wants to maybe spar so that he's stronger for next time he goes up against Mr. Fuck You. Well, I guess maybe the new Mr. Fuck You, since Mr. Fuck You got killed.
Okay.
But I'm assuming a new one just takes his place.
Yeah, it's like a title, right? It's like a Highlander.
The reigning Fuck You.
And what about Antaeus?
trying to find something to. Well, I guess I'd be trying to find something to do or study or anything down here. I'd probably like also be searching or looking at the sarcophagi, and I wouldn't be leaving the little safe area that we had.
Okay.
But just doing that, going over research stuff, diddling around with things, trying to
There's lots
of pass the time.
Items.
I will send that message, by the way, to
Okay. There's lots of items and wealth to investigate.
I'm not taking any of it. I will investigate with my eyes, not with my mouth.
There's a wide variety of things. There's
You
a
don't
wide
taste
variety of
things to
things beyond
investigate?
just coin. There are swords, armor, shields, other styles of weapons, other styles of gear, amulets, some baubles,
There
some
are,
trinkets.
If there are things of certain styles, I'd probably be seeing if I could figure out what styles they were. Kind of like with the sarcophagus, and I wasn't really able to successfully do that very well. But trying to piece together how old and maybe where the stuff came from.
Yeah, so give me a knowledge history.
All right. Knowledge to story.
Oh, that's the usual.
Alchemist strikes again.
Off to a good start.
Did you watch any of Resist's last game?
I think I saw a little bit of last game.
I'm rolling so many bad rolls on my knowledge checks on my alchemist in that game. Steve and I are convinced it's just an alchemist thing. If you play the alchemist class and you try to roll knowledges, they will always be garbage.
Oh, that's because you the mind chemist, or I think it's the mind chemist one.
Yeah, whichever one. That gives
The
you
game is programmed to identify it, because Evie has not had a single real problem with knowledge checks against monsters, or anything else for that matter. So, but yeah, you were not sure. This is from a place that's basically very foreign to you. You have not been over here. A lot of the stuff is very valuable.
Drats. I was hoping that would give me some new information, but probably not.
No, there's a very good reason there's a Sphinx here, though. You can tell by looking at it. Some of this stuff looks to be very powerful. It's decorated in such a way and uses specific, gems or metals that really lead you to believe, this is the kind of thing that powerful magical items are typically made of.
Yeah, looking at the Sphinx, I can tell just by looking at her image here. Very ornate.
Yeah, she is well decorated, and seems to have great power in what she does with this book in front of her. But you have another
I guess I would
book.
just also fiddle around. Yeah, I was just about to say, when you said the word book, which I don't know why it didn't occur to me, I guess I would fiddle around with my book a little bit too.
You've hit an episode marker. One item
Oh.
you automatically get. One item that we talked about before.
I don't think this is the right character to know that in character.
Yep, but you can scour through the book, and you can discover that inside of it... that noise.
No, it was flap, like the book noise.
It does get lonely down here. No judgment.
There's no private place,
Seen
though.
that Sphinx? Just stand behind her leg, it's all good.
The Sphinx is kind of a babe. That might just be material for you right there.
Hell yeah! Look at her makeup. She did a great job on it. Look at that
she's got
eyeshadow.
bomb ass makeup. That face is pristine. Just
Bedroom
ignore
eyes.
all of the weird hair going on, and it's really attractive.
Yeah, for not
She's
having
got those
opposable
bedroom
thumbs.
eyes.
Where did I put this? I literally copy-pasted this item into here. Where the fuck did I put it? Put the spells in here. Did I seriously not put the... I did not put the item in here. What is wrong with my ability to properly move my notes around? Hold on. Then I know where the actual other copy of the note is.
I was gonna say, have you checked the conscripted folder? 'Cause
No,
that happens.
I've got the notes in 3 places at least. So yeah, you will reach in, and you will pull out, or you'll like kind of reach into the book as you notice an item that might be of some use. It seems very prominent, and something about it kind of like there's like a sheen to it this time as you're flipping through the pages that wasn't there before. And as you look at it, it looks like a hat of some sort.
A hat?
Yeah, like a 2-dimensional hat, just printed on the page, but it has like a bit of a shine to it.
What kind of hat?
Hard to tell. 2D images can sometimes be difficult to identify exactly what the object is. It's at like kind of a weird angle, but it's got like a brim and like a center kind of domed part.
Ah, so it's a fedora to protect your eyes from all the radiation, right?
Maybe.
I saw a random image of that, or recently. I should have stolen the image. I will see if I can pull it out.
Yeah, you can easily. It comes out as if it was like specifically waiting for you to find it.
Did any of the other stuff that did the coin that we pull out? Did that page shine when we pulled it out, or?
No, the coin was more of a forcible thing.
Okay.
This is much different than anything you've seen the book do so far. It's almost like some amount of time being around the book has kind of started making some things, maybe made this glow, maybe it's something about you, maybe it's something about where you're at.
Alright, let's do the dang thing and look at this hat, see what's going on.
Give me a spellcraft, if you want to start there.
Yeah. I only have a 10 in that, so there's a good chance that I'll roll okay. Oh, okay. That's not bad.
Yeah, so you, at the very least, you get that this hat will infer a bonus to your intellect.
Ooh, oh.
But you detect there's some other properties about it, but you're not exactly sure what.
Do you show anyone else this hat?
Yeah, I'll show the class.
Let's see if I can get lucky with a roll.
What does the hat look like?
Same thing.
Not
It
much.
is a fedora, indeed. It is a brown fedora that if you think to yourself you don't like the color brown, it will start to change in tint.
Ooh, that's nice.
Nia will just be like, don't look at me. The last time somebody put it on an object, I came here.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But
There's I don't know what the secondary effects seem to be offhand.
you're not sure. No, not from that check. Something about the magic on it too feels a little foreign as you're kind of looking over it. It could be because you're trying to do this without a detect magic going.
I was gonna say I could detect magic, but when I do spells, sometimes weird things happen, which could work in our favor, could not.
What about those gloves? Can we put the gloves on?
Oh yeah, I'll just put the gloves on and do it.
It's cool. I've got something for this. I just have to remember which one it is.
Don't waste your shit. I can literally do this with the gloves on for free.
I will let Antaeus know that I can detect magic the next day and prepare it as a spell if he can't figure it out today.
With the
Or I
detect
can
magic-
just put the gloves on.
Okay, if you want to try that, that's fine.
Okay, Ivy, you're gonna put the gloves on and cast a spell. All right, hold on. I need to roll some dice here.
Oh God. Are
Yeah,
the
the
gloves
main-
not working for me
Fun
anymore?
that you assume that the reason the rollback didn't happen was because you had the gloves on and not because the rolls weren't bad rolls.
Well, I assumed. Seems logical.
You know what they say when you assume.
I mean, my character's not that bright, so she wouldn't think otherwise.
Ivy,
Oh God.
you cast the
Oh
spell,
God. Oh God.
and your eyes begin to glow, and they begin to glow very, very brightly. You can see the magic that is in this thing. You can see the magic in a whole lot more.
Oh God.
In fact, your vision kind of skews a bit. Your eyes can now see things in a way that is much different than what you've ever been able to see before. I want you to write down that you have Arcana Vision.
Now, this
Like
doesn't.
permanently, or
Until I
know?
say it's over.
Okay.
This doesn't look like the normal effects of detect magic. does
No, her eyes have like transformed in a way. In
Is there a
fact,
particular place I
Antaeus,
should write this down?
in your senses,
it? Senses?
But didn't you get rid of the census box, or did you just move it?
you just put it in as one of your features. Sorry.
Oh.
Okay, features.
Was that at the bottom?
In fact, Antaeus, you recognize the look in her eyes. It's the look you've seen in the Fae that you've encountered. That kind of like glowing blackness with sparkles inside of it.
So, how are you doing? You doing all right?
I don't think the gloves work for me anymore.
Yeah, that's a safe bet. You doing okay? You seeing anything? Yeah.
I see everything magical. This is weird as hell.
Everything you say.
Yep, pretty sure everything.
Do you see anything on the ground?
I'll look at the ground.
What particular are you trying to see if she can see in the ground?
I'm trying to see if she sees any ley lines.
She certainly does. You can
Does it-
see lines of magic that run through the earth itself. These bright, beaming lines that course through the ground. But the ground now to you looks a bit weird. It doesn't look fully like ground-like. It looks semi-translucent.
Yeah, Ivy's gonna look down and then probably jump and be like, "What the fuck
You
is
can
that
tell you're
shit?"
on ground, but yeah, you can see these magical lines running through the earth.
I'm gonna like start stepping weird on the ground. Like, is this actually solid? Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
You
can see like the fabric of reality. There's just the
Yeah.
glow of different amounts of magic. The stronger the lines, the better you can see them.
Yeah, I can see shit down there. This is weird as hell. What am I looking at on Teus? What did I just do to myself?
It probably looks sort of like rivers of magic, maybe. Sort of. You don't have to see any of them that are touching each other, do you?
Do I see any touching each other?
Not from where you're standing. There are no intersection points.
Not that I can see here.
Okay, that's good.
Is it bad if they touch each other? Is that a bad touch?
Well, you don't really want to cross the streams, because if you do that, then the magic is stronger in that area and can become more wild.
Yeah, no streams crossing that I can see right now.
That's good.
I don't know how long this is gonna last. Should I look at your hat at least?
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Are you ready for this? You look at the hat. And as you look at the hat has magic on it that you've never seen before. There is a twist in the way that the braiding of the magic is, and that twist seems to curl out and sort of fade into something like, how do I put this? You know how like when you're looking down a road and the road, you know the road goes on and on and on, but you can no longer see the end of the road? That's sort of how this does. It looks like watching magic twist into the distance, and you feel like it probably goes on to somewhere beyond what you can perceive. But it's still there and it's still going because it has to tie back together. But this magic exists outside of the material realm. It ties to somewhere beyond the material realm, beyond any realm that you can see.
So this hat's really weird. It does things that I don't think should be possible. If I'm looking at this right, the magic ties to something beyond the material realm, and I don't know what the hell that means.
Give me a spellcraft check.
Oh god.
Okay.
Same
I
roll.
believe though that doing this with might be getting this in identify confused, but I thought you get a... No, you don't. So that is basically
Yeah, I think
the
it's
same roll. It's just identify.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll end up with still the same result. It's still too confusing to understand quite what you're looking at. You can give me a knowledge arcana though if you have a rank in it. Okay. And yeah, you're not sure. It's too foreign to understand exactly what's happening here. The only thing you can tell for certain is that there is the bonus to intellect.
Yeah, unfortunately, whatever the heck I just did to my vision isn't helping me figure out what is in this hat of yours, but I know it gives you intellect, but we already knew that. So, cool. Now I have this really weird vision.
So the items that I have, Steve, they the ones that I got, they don't require a like a tuning period, do they?
Which items?
The ones I got from the Sulinal person in Knightsbridge.
Are you talking about the books, or the books have no attunement period?
No, the other stuff like the borrow skill.
No, there's no attunement period.
Okay. Well, sorry, you were looking. Were you doing Arcana or?
Yeah, he was saying I could make a knowledge arcana, but I don't have any rings in it.
Well, here you go. I'll go through my bag real quick and I'll pull out the things. Yeah, you take this one.
Okay.
Use this.
Okay.
And then I'll take this one.
Okay.
It'll allow you to borrow from my my skill set, my knowledge of the arcane.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can make a knowledge arcana check. I believe as if you have Antaeus' ranks. Let me look
I
up our
believe
skill
so.
real quick. I never remember exactly how this is.
You borrow one of the skills, one of the target's known skills. After touching the subject, you can make a single skill check with the chosen skill using the bonuses. Using the subject's skill ranks, but modified by your own key ability.
Yeah, so you can act like you have. So you can roll a knowledge arcana, and add 7 to it. If it's a class skill, you can add 10 to it.
Well, it is a class skill.
So you'll add 10 total to it.
So you want me to
Roll the knowledge arcana.
But so technically, okay, so here's the thing, because I have an extra -2 to it due to my drawback, but it just says with your main ability. Do I need that extra -2, or would it just be the normal -2 from having low int?
You're gonna still maintain that -2 because you're
Okay.
not actually trained in it.
Okay.
That -2 comes from you not actually having a rank in it. So you're borrowing the understanding that is in Antaeus' mind,
Gotcha.
not
Okay,
your own
so-
implicit understanding.
So just roll knowledge arcana and add 10 to
Yep.
whatever I get. Not
No.
great.
Okay. So yeah, you're not even sure what this extra layer of magic is on it, even from a school basis, from a school perspective. Good try
Bummer.
though.
Oof. That's rough.
Yeah. Unfortunately, my drawback gives me some really nasty negatives to rolling things that I don't have a rank in.
That's fair. Alright, I suppose I should probably...
Try it on.
Well...
It's the worst that can happen,
Try
right?
it on.
I've never
Try
given
it
parties
on.
cursed items or items that are bound to them forever and ever.
Actually, while you still have that, would you mind taking a look at Niev's chest real quick? For the item.
What?
The necklace, I want to see
her
if it
neck, not her chest. You should probably
kind of went over the whole
clarify
area,
body
didn't it?
parts a little bit better.
My apologies. I want to see if the weird effect on the hat was having the same, or if it had the same kind of ties to the
Gotcha, the
I think you're
weird
talking
effect where it feels like it's going off the playing type thing. Yeah, if Nieb is
Yes.
like chill and not weirded out, I'll go check out where a necklace should be on her.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
do that, you will see that in that same way, the magic seems to go off somewhere else. But unlike what you're looking at, so when you're looking at what Antaeus has, if he spins the hat, that line of magic kind of spins with the hat. For when you're looking at Nieve, if she turns, the line is always pointed in the same direction.
Yeah, I'll convey that to Antaeus because I have absolutely no idea what that would mean. But I'm like, when you turn the hat, the magic like goes like this, but when she turns, the magic like stays like this. I don't know.
Having been teleported and dropped in a desert, it's really hard to get your bearings as to where north, south, east, west.
Well, I guess
Does
the
it
reason
point to the other person?
that's what I was kind of thinking is I wasn't sure how much knowledge I have of places outside of Sierra Savant or their relation to Sierra Savant geographically, but that's probably what it does. But I guess we'll have to figure that out later. Oh, I'm going to also use the mage site.
Okay.
And then Fortitude, that's the one. Rutrow. I'm
Yeah.
rolling like a champ today.
You'll have to deal with that later.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, you have a temporary detect magic.
And I will see if I can. Oh, I guess I think it's.
And roll me a d2 while you're doing it.
Sure.
And take that wisdom damage, that smooth wisdom damage.
Hell yeah. That's when I roll the high numbers.
While I do still have this site going, I think I would pull out my weapon and like look at it and see if I see anything interesting.
Yeah, you'll notice that the magic that's twisted around the gem is also kind of like wrapped around the blade, and the blade kind of has its own magic that's wrapped around that line of magic that is wrapped around, that is coming forth from the gem.
Sorry, finish that thought.
Okay.
I need to be right
It's-
back real fast.
okay.
I was saying you can finish
No,
that
go ahead.
thought and then I'll...
Go ahead.
Okay. All right, I'll be right back in a second.
Alright, so what do you want to do with the detect magic, Antaeus?
I suppose that I would be trying to just see if I notice anything about the magic on the hat. I mean, I'm assuming I can't see all the same things that she does.
You can
but,
give me another spellcraft.
All right.
No. Still about the same.
Yeah, my spellcraft's not great.
You can give me a knowledge arcana though now that you're looking at it.
Hell yeah. Watch me get like a 21 somehow. What?
Did you literally say 21?
Yep.
That's still pretty good. That's enough to know 100% for certain that
Even with the botch?
that the spell there. So the first part of what is on this hat is a transmutative effect, and with that 21, you're pretty sure there's limitations that go along with this hat to putting it on, but you're not exactly sure what. Like, you may not get the effect if you don't meet the requirements. But there is another school of magic tied to this, one you've never ever seen before. A magic, like the way the lines kind of, the way the chords kind of run through it, they are reality defining in a way. It is a it looks almost like you're looking at, as you're looking at the chords, it almost looks like the chords reflect but also absorb light that comes into it. So there's like, it's like glowing darkness.
Are there... I guess I don't know if I would know offhand, but are there any schools of magic that react similarly in any way, shape, or form?
Not even close.
Huh. Magic's not a tangible thing, so I can't read its aura, so... Well, I guess it is. I guess I could go read, use psychometry on Ivy. That's how you, check the, past of magic, right? That'll definitely leave me sane by the end of this session. Actually, while I've got this going on, I'm gonna, look over at her real quick and see if there's anything aside from her miscellaneous gear that's magical about her.
This is the first time you've noticed it, but there is a faint glow that she gives off.
Do I know of it to be of any school of magic?
No. Some people think of it as kind of like the glow of universalist magic, where it doesn't, there's no really associated chord or blend of colors. It's just like a highlight of light coming from something, but it's extra faint, but still there.
Just kind of her entire body is that way?
Everywhere that's not covered up has a bit of light beaming, a bit of arcane light beaming from it.
Oh, from her skin, basically?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I'll see if I can, while I have it going, I'll kind of look at the Sphinx out of the corner of my eye as to not blind myself.
Very bright, and
Gotcha.
you can slowly ease yourself over to looking at it. And there is a lot of magic both on the Sphinx and around the Sphinx.
I guess I'd also kind of I'm assuming I'd probably wander off and look at the sarcophagi. Well,
so the one that is occupied has a reasonably strong glowing light on it.
And that's the ornate one, not the mundane one, right?
Yes.
Okay. Am I able to tell if it's anything that I've seen
Similar
before?
universalist magic.
Okay. That makes sense, actually. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Ivy, would you mind coming and looking at this real quick?
Sure.
I'll just kind of point that out to her, the universalist magic on the sarcophagus.
Yeah, you can see a glow of magic coming off of the sarcophagus, almost like it's really coming from the inside of the sarcophagus. The light is kind of emerging from the edges of where the lid is over top of it.
Now, real quick, would you mind looking at your hand?
I'll look at my hand.
There is a faint glow of magic on your hand.
It looks the same, basically.
Yeah. Similar, but not nearly as bright.
Yeah, not high enough level. Oh, yes, universalist magic, probably. At least it's something decipherable, unlike this other magic.
Yeah, and one of the things you know about universalist magic is that's kind of the moniker that's been placed on it, but really it's just kind of manifestations of raw arcane energy put to a more defined purpose. It's something that the schools themselves don't directly do. It's something that's driven by arcane energy, and then each of the schools kind of plucks pieces out of it. The best way to think about it is the light spectrum, where all of them blended together create this one singular essence, and that's what universalist magic kind of is. But each of the schools is kind of plucking out a Roy G. Biv from a veritable Roy G. Biv from the spectrum. And when you're looking at the thing in the hat, the magic that's in the hat is more like what happens when you start to look outside of far outside of the boundaries of that, where sight becomes questionable. Light and darkness coexist as kind of the same entity.
Does she or the sarcophagus seem to change at all? Like get brighter when she gets closer to it, or
No.
Okay, that's good at least. At least we don't have to worry about it awakening anything with her being near it or something. I suppose while I think I've got this going for 30 minutes, I believe it was a 3 I rolled. I'm just gonna kind of meander around and look at various expensive looking things. So I'll make sure with the Sphinx that it's okay if I do this before I start touching and all that stuff. Well,
she doesn't seem to have any problems with you looking at anything, so long as you're not touching or trying to leave with things.
Okay.
Yeah, so sorry, what was just everything you were finishing up about the
Yeah,
weapon?
so the magic looks kind of like, so from the gem, imagine there's like tendrils that are kind of reaching out, and they look like you can is borrow skill for a single use, or is it, hold on,
I believe it's single use, but
Yeah, I'm pretty certain it said like you may make like one skill.
yeah, I'm gonna make a single check with a chosen skill. Yeah, so you see like these tendrils that reach out across the blade, coming from the gem that are rather dark in color, and then you see these kind of like lighter color tendrils that are coming up, or from the gem, and then you see these lighter tendrils that are coming up from the hilt of the blade, that wrap around, and they kind of like wrap around each other. And at the end, they kind of twist together in this kind of blend that meets the tip of the blade.
Okay. Interesting.
But yeah. Anything else that in particular any of you want to do?
I'll ask Ivy if her new vision changes the note that she has in any way.
Yeah, I'll pull it out and look at it again and see if anything looks different.
Yeah, looking at the note. The note glows with a very intense swirl of colors. As you look at the note, I'm going to need you to give me a will save.
Ooh, fun.
oh, maybe you could put a book next.
You are looking at the note, and the colors kind of swirl upon the note. And for a moment, you think you read. He needs to wake up now, Ivy says as she lifts her head. He needs to wake up. He's just sleeping. He's not dead. He just needs to wake up.
Your dad?
She turns and starts to make her way towards the sarcophagus.
Oh my god.
Don't do that. Don't do that. No. I'll try to
He's just sleeping.
stand in between. No.
Don't worry. I'm going to wake him.
Oh, no. You don't need to do all that.
Ivy, you touch the lid of the sarcophagus.
Ah!
Give me another will save. You come to, your hands resting on the lid of the sarcophagus. You aren't sure what just happened. You moved suddenly across the room. The piece of that note that you have is still kind of like partially in your hand, as you like pressed your hands against the sarcophagus. But a few of the edges have sort of rounded.
Like they were exposed to a flame, or
No, more like if somebody like kind of sanded away the edges of them, like the sharp points.
What just happened?
I asked you to read the note, and apparently that was a bad idea. You just started saying he needs to wake up now, and you like went over there and was like trying to move the sarcophagus.
Who needs to wake up?
Oh.
Is she at her great grandfather's
just standing
I'm
over the
like-
sarcophagus.
Him? I was trying to wake him up?
That's
Yeah,
what you said.
Why would reading this note compel me to wake him up?
I'll
You
kind of
said
like
he was
put
just
my
sleeping.
hands on her like shoulders and try to like scooch her away from the thing.
Yeah,
I'm not strong enough to actually get away with any of that, but
I mean, I don't think I'd be resisting. I'm pretty confused right now, so you'd probably be able to eventually move me.
more like to like kind of signal to you to like step away from it. But let's not do that. That seems like a bad idea.
Why are the edges of this note changed now?
I'm not sure. Would you like me to take a look at it?
Sure.
I will look at it and see if I notice anything about it.
Give me a will save.
It's just like
Damn
the
it.
proximity for some reason.
Oh no!
So this did not happen the last time that you set eyes upon it, but with this detect magic on, looking at the note, your eyes feel a burning sensation, and you close them, and when you reopen them, you can no longer see.
Oh. Are you guys still there?
We're here.
Yeah, I'm right in front of you. What's wrong?
You are blind for 6 hours.
My pupils. Is there anything odd about them?
I'll look at his pupils.
Yeah, they're kind of small and not really seeming to focus on any one particular thing.
They're kind of small and not focusing.
You can tell by the way his eyes are moving, Niev, that he is blind.
He's blind.
What the hell is this note doing?
I say we don't look at the note anymore.
Agreed.
Yeah, we'll wait until the Sphinx is done and maybe she can offer insight onto what the heck is going on with this note.
Maybe.
Can I try to figure
Hopefully
out
she doesn't
what
fail
happened?
will save.
I'm
You
assuming
can-
that I wouldn't know in character how long I'm going to be blind.
Yeah, you can give me a knowledge arcana. See if maybe you can figure out what could have happened.
I would like to be assured in character that this is not a permanent thing.
So yeah, with your knowledge arcana, you think there is probably a protective element there, that against like arcane. Once something has happened, based on what she said, any sort of arcane viewing on it is like an attempt to look at whatever secrets it possesses, and as a recursive measure, it sort of shines out with a bright beam of magical energy to force away the eyes of anyone trying to do it, and to make sure that any like reading material they're using to look at it will fade away. And you get the sensation that you probably would not have. Well, let me double check. Hold on. Yeah, you get the sensation that you probably would not have had the force of self to have not had this reaction occur.
Ah. That I wouldn't have been able to roll high enough to
Yes.
be able to, yeah. Damn.
It has an intended recipient. Anyone other than that trying to look at it will suffer ill consequences. We'll see what other fun stuff you want to do after a short break, though.
So maybe not show it to the Sphinx then?
We'll be back.